Hi guys, welcome to your monthly challenge for March. So this month we're going to do something completely different to what we did in February. This month we are going to be tackling a seascape. So that could be just the sea, it could maybe be like a holiday photo you've taken somewhere where you've got the beach, maybe it's got some cliffs or maybe a boat in the water. Anything kind of to do with the water and the sea is kind of what we're going for here. So last month we did it all in black and white, so a monochrome mountain range. This time we're going to go completely the opposite way and we're going to do pretty much kind of like as many colours as you like. But the main rule is that we need to be able to see your primary colours. So the basic is just your yellow, blue and red, so you have to have those three colours in there. Once you've got those three colours in, you can either stick to just having those, or you can just go off and do this crazy multicoloured amazing painting. So I'm going to talk through just a general seascape, so just the water and some clouds in the sky, and I'm going to be using my red, blue and yellow with a little bit of black and white, and then I'm going to just maybe make some pinks and some lighter blues and maybe some oranges. So just a little bit of the secondary colours as well. So we'll be probably announcing the winner right at the end of the month. So if you could aim to get your entries in by the 26th of March, which I believe is a Friday, and we will do the same thing that we did for February, where we will be getting everybody's paintings into an album and we will share it so that everybody can see your gorgeous paintings and have a little vote on to which ones they think are their favourite. So the prize this month is going to be a set of watercolour paints and a pad of A4 watercolour paper. So it's quite exciting, especially if you're into your watercolour paints. It's a nice little prize. So I'm going to stick with just one brush for this, and I'm going to be using my yellow first. So I'm going to be using my brush vertically and I'm going to do big brush strokes side to side like this. And I'm trying to actually, for this one, I'm going to really try and see those brush marks, so I'm not going to blend it too much. So I've got my yellow and I'm bringing this up just to kind of fade off into those corners slightly. So that's my yellow. I'm then going to add in some of my red. So this is going to be completely opposite to what we've done last month. So I have got my red in there. To make it a little bit more blended and to get that slightly more pinky colour that I'm looking for, I'm going to rinse off my brush and I'm going to add a little bit of white to this. So I always feel like white is a really good colour when it comes to like trying to blend things and get lots of different shades and stuff. So you are allowed to use your white and black. And it also just adds like another layer to your paintings. There we go, right, so I'm going to get my orange going on in here. So I'm going to rinse off my brush again and I'm going to go back to my yellow, and because this red is still quite wet, I'm going to grab that yellow and hopefully it will just create that lovely orange mix in between the two. So you can still see that bright yellow in the middle, and then we've got a slight orange, and then we've got that red before it goes into the pink. So in terms of composition, I often find that actually when you do something that's just got two halves to it, it's probably better to not have your horizon line exactly on the halfway point. And this kind of rule applies to a lot of general paintings. I think it just mixes it up a little bit. I think if you've got more focus on one side or the other, it just makes a big, big difference. Very, very wobbly horizon line. Okay, so I'm doing quite choppy brush strokes and I really want to get the movement in the water. So for this, I'm going to be moving my brush up and down and really creating that wave effect. So for this, I think just have a little go and see what happens, and don't stress about it too much. It's just, you know, having a go with lots of colours. It's a really good way to practice blending and also seeing how the colours mix together, or compositions and loads of stuff. So use it as like just a practice as well. It's just to get you to, you know, pick up those paints and just try something that's not so structured. And it's a lot of fun. I feel like a lot of times we really worry about what it looks like, and I actually think the less you worry about it, the nicer it's going to look, and you're going to try new things and they're going to work really well. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoy doing this one. Like, I'm having a great time just doing this really quick one. I feel like I might just afterwards take a bit of time and maybe do a bit more painting. Okay, right, so I've added a bit more white into it because I've got a slightly sludgy purple going on. I feel like I really want to get that warmth back in. So we've got the slightly colder blue at the bottom. going into that purpley colour, and I've just been gradually adding a bit more red and a bit of white. And as you're getting further up, it's always better for things to be smaller, thinner, and all that sort of stuff when you're closer to your horizon line. And with the waves as well, I'm just turning my brush the opposite way, so I'm using it horizontally. And hopefully it's going to be quite effective when we get to those thicker brush strokes towards the bottom, so you've got the difference between all of those different parts. Okay, I'm really enjoying this. So I'm going to add a bit more white, and I'm thinking I might add a bit more red back in again to really get the reflection kind of the sky into the water. There we go. So I'm just highlighting a couple of waves just with my slightly lighter colours. A couple of highlights from the sun. And I'm going to use a little bit of white first, I think. I'm just going to use my big brush for all of this. I feel like this big bold painting needs big bold brush strokes, so I'm not going to change my brush. So I'm adding in some texture by picking up loads of paint on the brush, holding it flat and just tapping it across. Really emphasises where the light is hitting. And the thing that I love about painting water is that there's so many moods to it, and there's so much you can capture with just a couple of colours and some thick brush strokes and things. So yeah, really play around with like the highlights and things and reflections. Okay, right, I'm just brightening up my yellow to really get that highlight going on, and maybe just capture a few hints of some clouds and things. So that's the basics of painting some water and a very generic sky. So you guys can definitely take this so many different directions. There's no particular rules. The only rule is that you need to be able to see your primary colours. So I've got a little bit of that neat blue down here. I've got some neat yellows in here somewhere, and then some reds. So you can clearly see the primary colours, kind of, plus lots of other shades. But yes, please do have fun with this. I really hope that you enjoy painting them. Remember, it can be any medium you want, so it doesn't have to just be acrylics. If you fancy trying out some oil paints, this is a really good one to try it with. A lot of seascapes are done with oils, a lot of pastels as well, so try maybe having a go with pastels. But we loved looking through all of your Mono Mountain paintings, so I'm very excited to see these ones. So much colour, and I cannot wait. So don't forget, before the 26th of March will be fabulous, but don't worry if you end up being a little bit late. We'll add you into the album. So we'll be announcing the winner towards the end of March. Yeah, good luck guys, and have fun!